There, YouTubers. Here we are at the farm, and we're just talking guns today. And right now, we're talking about my Hell's Canyon Speed in 30-06, and I just wanted to talk about bullet choices, ammo choices, and accessories. Got some ammo here. Down here on the floor I got some more examples of some ammo. So let's get to it. This is my Hell's Canyon Speed in 30-06 Browning Hell's Canyon Speed. Never mind the orange paint there, that was an accident with my range paint. So what I got here is, this is a Hell's Canyon Speed, Browning Hell's Canyon Speed in 30-06, and my choice of optics that I put in it so far, I haven't tried anything else on it, but this seems to be working good. This is a Nikon Prostaff 7. It is a 3-12. It is a 3-12 by 42. So and these mounts are the Browning X-Lock mounts. I bought this gun prior to when you could buy it with bronze magazines and bronze mounts. You can get bronze mounts for this gun. We're clear here. I proved it safe already. It's clear. You can buy bronze mounts. This is a 30. These are 30mm mounts. This is a 30mm tube in here. I've had really good results at low light. I can see really well at low light. You know, when the deer come out in the early morning and late in the evening. What I want to talk about with this gun, I'm really impressed with this gun. This is by far my favorite gun out of all my I have 28 guns. Not all of them are rifles, so some of them are shotguns, but I have a few rifles, and by far this is my favorite gun. I've only been hunting for a short number of years, not compared to some of my friends who got me into hunting. But you know, I've you know, for my first gun, this is definitely, I'm really impressed. I just want to talk about some ammo here that I've found works best for this particular, the 30-06. And some accessories that I got. So the scope, starting with the gun, I bought the gun at a company, at a business called P&D Enterprises in Edmonton, Alberta. I paid I think about $1,400, maybe $1,400, something like that. I wasn't making a lot of money, so I had to put it on layaway. They are a company that does do layaway, but be forewarned, if you do layaway with them, they don't, if you decide you change your mind, they keep your money. So be prepared to make a commitment. They don't do layaways for people that are not committed. So with that, you know, I bought the gun. It took me 2 months to pay for it. It was a lot of money, and then the next month after that, I bought the scope at Cabela's. I bought the scope for a little. I got it on sale for around $500. I'm gonna say, or maybe it was just less than $500 for that Prostaff 7. I believe it's a 7. It's either a Prostaff 7 or a Prostaff 5, but you can tell by the purplish red printing on it that it's there's only one Prostaff. I'll just take this off and show you. Anyways, so with and when I bought the scope at Cabela's, I bought these flip ups hood covers, and which I totally recommend. I totally recommend those because you're probably looking at that going saying, why is it so dirty? And I will say I haven't it hasn't been knocked out of zero. Those mounts have been designed to use with this gun. Those scope mounts, the scope is I've never had any problems with it. The BDC reticles are amazing once you get to learn how they work, and once you're comfortable. I when I'm shooting, I usually keep it set. I'm not a super long range, and a 30-06 cartridge is not really meant for shooting long range. I mean, you can. I've shot out to 500 yards with this gun, and I hit the 500-yard gong at the Genesee shooting range, which is where I have my range membership. Anyways, this scope is I wouldn't shoot an animal past 300 yards with this gun. I mean, I'm sure you could do it with a deer with the right load, but anything bigger than that, it's just to me it's not ethical, and it's beyond my personal capability as a beginner hunter. So I don't know, maybe there's expert hunters out there that are the better shots than I am, but I wouldn't take that shot. But so with that being said, I usually keep it on about 4 to 5, sometimes 6 power, and that way I have a good field of view, and it works for me out to 200 yards, which is my personal limit. The trigger on this gun is amazing. It was set. I think it's set at the factory. I think it's adjustable. The trigger is adjustable from I think 2.5 pounds to 5 pounds or 4.5 pounds or something like that. I think it comes set at the factory at 3.5 pounds. I don't have a whole big understanding of trigger poundage and stuff like that, but I'm just you know what, it came from the factory. It works. It just works so well. So this case, so the scope I bought at Cabela's, and because I bought the scope at Cabela's, they mounted it for me. So I had Cabela's mount it, and they did a fantastic job. This sling, I had to order this sling from Browning. I didn't actually order it directly from Browning. What you do is when you want something from Browning, you have to find a dealer, and then you order it through a dealer, which is good because Browning wants to protect their dealers and wants you to do business with their dealers, which supports the dealers. And that's kind of what we need is small. If you and what the great thing about small businesses is that they're willing to bring stuff in for you, whereas you go to Cabela's and what's on the shelf is what's on the shelf. So there's a big advantage to these small businesses. So I totally recommend supporting small businesses whenever you can. This Browning case, I paid $65 for this case. I got paint on it. When I went to the range, I didn't put the cap on my fluorescent orange paint, and it leaked onto the rifle. But that's the Browning ATAX AU. So it's not FG, it's ATAX AU, which is Arid Urban. But that's the official Browning case, and I think the case that was meant for this rifle. Like I said, I bought the case at Canadian Tire. For $65. I have the original tag in here. I think it says $63, so $63 plus tax, whatever. I bought an extra magazine. Bought the extra magazine at Canadian Tire because they were actually cheaper there. They were the cheapest. I think they were on sale. You gotta wonder about Canadian Tire sales stuff. They say it's on sale when it's actually regular price, and even though it's below MSRP, it's you can get it anywhere for that price. Or sometimes you can get it cheaper than Canadian Tire sale price. But that's kind of the. I mean, if you don't know any better, you don't shop around. You're not going to get the good deals unless you shop around. So, but you know what? Canadian Tire had the case there. Sometimes their stuff is expensive for what you get at Canadian Tire. But I was willing to... It was the only place I could find the case. And they had it there, and I wanted it, so I bought it. And I think that's how Canadian Tire makes a lot of money with a lot of their stuff when it comes to firearms. So I bought the extra magazine. I bought an extra magazine. I have broke one. I broke one. But you know what? I kept the original package, and I just took it in, and what happened is I broke this little tab broke. Not like, and this is a much better quality. I have a friend of mine that is a Savage, and he's broken 2 magazines because of the way it's designed. The Savage magazine is like a piece of plastic that bends. And in the cold weather, it bends and breaks. It bends and breaks. Where this is actually on a hinge. It's got a spring inside, and it's on a hinge. And it's super fast, and it goes in super fast and easy to get out, easy to get in. That's top quality right there. I just. So and I'll get into the reason why I bought an extra magazine. Not only in case I broke one, but my buddy was in the field and he broke his magazine, and then he's running around the bush trying to hold his magazine into his gun. So let's get on to the ammo. The gun comes with a muzzle brake. I don't use the muzzle brake because I don't hunt with earplugs. I know a lot of people say you should hunt with earplugs. I don't know why it is, but when I'm shooting, maybe it's because I'm behind the gun. I don't get the noise that. When I shot it with the muzzle brake on and I wasn't wearing hearing protection, and I will never do that again. Do not shoot any gun with a muzzle brake on it without hearing protection on. That was a mistake I made. I knew better. I just forgot to put my hearing protection on. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and it was a painful experience shooting a gun with a muzzle brake without hearing protection on. So, but anyways, I took mine off. One reason I took it off is because it just looks like something it'll get dirt in, and I don't hunt with hearing protection because I like to hear the animals and stuff around me. Maybe one day I will buy those hearing protection that I guess you custom get them to fit it to your ears. Anyways, that would be another video on hearing protection. But anyways, so that's the rifle in the bag. I got the bag, and these are Butler Creek flip up, and I got those at Cabela's when I bought the scope and had them mounted at the same time. I was talking about this sling. So the sling, I can't remember how much I paid for this sling, but it was ordered from Browning through P&D Enterprises in Edmonton, and it matches the gun quite nice. I can't remember what model number it is. So on to ammunition. I have tried various ammunitions or various cartridges. This is Winchester Power Max. The only reason why I bought this is a pointed hollow point. This is a pointed hollow point. I don't know if I get the camera to focus. Anyways, it's a pointed hollow point. There we go. Maybe see that a little better. It's a pointed hollow point, and I think this was created for the trend of shooting non-toxic ammo. But the only reason why I bought this was because I got it for a decent deal. I got it for $27 at Canadian Tire. This is 180 grain. I've only shot 8 rounds of this. Accuracy wise, I really haven't. I can't give you an honest opinion about this because I haven't put much. I haven't put many of this through my gun, but and I'll get into the reason why later. On all of this factory ammo, I am a reloader, so if you're looking for a video on the best factory ammo, I can only give you a few tips. I will go on here. This is Winchester's 165 grain PowerPoint. I can get this stuff at Walmart for $25. It's a pointed soft point. Nothing special, just regular, deer, antelope, 165 grain, 165 grain bullet. It works. You gotta, if you want some cheap, you're gonna do some target shooting. You want some cheap ammo, $25 for a box of ammo. That's the cheapest I've found. This stuff here, this non-typical Federal 180 grain again. I think you can get this in 180 grain and 150 grain. But you know what? I buy this stuff. I buy it. Good for target shooting. You take your friend to the range. Shoot 3 shots, sight it in. That's right. Every time you change your ammo, you got to sight your gun in for that ammo. So, I don't. I have my personal favorites, and this stuff here. I put a box of this Browning BXC. I bought this, for elk and moose and bear. I think is what is recommended on the box. Elk, moose, mule deer, bear, and boar. The interesting thing about this stuff, it's got an aluminum tip. You see that? I don't know. It's got an aluminum tip. And it's controlled expansion, so it expands slower. So it's designed to expand slower, and as it goes through bigger animals. I haven't shot any animals with it, so I don't know. And you know what? All of this ammo. Stay tuned for some other videos. I'll do some videos on how this works, or how it expands in some water jugs, and we'll see what it looks like after it's been shot. This non-typical, going back to this, great for target shooting. I keep this case full of ammo in case I don't have any of my own reloaded stuff. This is American Whitetail. I get it at Walmart. My wife really likes this American Whitetail. She shoots a Browning X-Bolt. She shoots a Browning X-Bolt Hunter in 308, and this is her favorite ammo. She gets it in I think 150 grain 308, and it's it's a soft point interlock. So this is Hornadi's soft point interlock. I think I only bought this for the brass. I get it for a good deal at Walmart. I think I pay $35 a box, whereas normally you go to Cabela's, they're $40 a box. But if you want to, instead of paying $1 for Hornady brass, you can buy a box of ammo, shoot it off, and then you got the brass afterwards. Have some fun with it. So that's kind of the factory ammo that I've had been playing with. Going on to reloading, I have had excellent results with these spear bullets. The 30-06 Hell's Canyon seems to really like 165 grain bullets. 165 grain seems to be where it's at with this gun. I have shot this. This is, you know, there's I shot 60 rounds of it. I made this. I buy spear bullets, and this is where it really becomes economical. I buy brass for, you know, $40 to $50 for 100, which makes it, say, 50 cents for the brass. The bullets are $50 for $50 for 100 for spear bullets where you can find them. You know, the brass, 50 cents for the brass, 50 cents for the bullet. You know, the primers are only 6 cents a piece. You know, they're $6 or $7 for 100. So I bet you I made these for $1.25 a round, which makes it, you know, 50. If I was to pay for a box ammo, it'd work out to about $15 or about $15 for a box ammo, and I think that's about as cheap as you're going to get it. So, and when I make this is, you know, I take this to the range. I can shoot this all day long. You know, I shoot 5 rounds, let the gun cool off, shoot 5 rounds, you know, shoot the 100-yard gong, shoot the 100-yard targets, try to get your grouping super small, and then you go out to the 500-yard, 800-yard target and try to shoot the 800-yard gong, and that's the economical way of doing it. And I think this gun really likes these spear bullets. I've had really good accuracy with them, you know, in 1-inch groupings, at 100 yards. These are the same spear bullets, the boat tail soft point. These are boat tail soft point as well. There's the recipe if you want. Reloader 19, 57 grains. Here's the 180 grain. I haven't shot many of these. I have 100 rounds here. I've shot one. You know, I shot one. And you're looking at that. I bet you're looking at that, and you're probably looking at, gee, that looks long. And I'll get into that in a minute, and why those seem a little bit long. Or it looks like the bullet is sticking out of there so far. 165 grain bullets. So that's target. You know, I use those for target shooting and blowing up tannerite. You know, these are great for blowing up tannerite. A bottle of tannerite, a half pound of tannerite's only, you know, the fluorescent sticker on a bottle of tannerite's only, you know, 3 or 4 inches big, and at 100 yards I can easily hit that. I can see it with this rifle. With the scope works good at 4 or 5 power, you know, and even so these here's my other target. These are my Hornady. If I want to shoot really accurate, these are 155 grain Hornady AMAX. You can't hunt with AMAX bullets. They are a target shooting. They are a target round. They're not meant for hunting. So these are not these. I can use these for hunting. These are soft points. These are soft point. I can hunt with these, and you know, I could, if I was going to stick with one thing, I think it would be these spear 165 grain boat tail soft points. Just as far as economical and accurate, this is the most economical and the most these are the most accurate for the economy, and most economical. That'd be that a way to go. Hornady bullets, they're a little bit more than $50 for 100. Let's start with these. I've taken deer with these. Hornady Reloader 15 with these. 52.4 grains. There's the recipe for you. And they're seated. If you look where they're seated, these are seated a little bit longer than what they say in the Hornady book, which is, I'll get to that in a minute, one of the accessories I bought for my gun. These are fantastic hunting. These are great hunting bullets. 165 grain, boat tail soft point Hornady. Again, 165 grain. The gun seems to really like 165 grain. These 178 grain bear. These are great. Great. I got a bear this spring with these 178 grain ELDX. These are I think these are Hornady's newest polymer tipped ones. They're not actually a polymer tip. They're almost like a plastic. They're like a heat-proof plastic, and the reason why Hornady, I think Hornady was the one that discovered that the polymer tips aren't always as accurate as, say, a full metal jacket, is because the polymer tips at high speeds melt in the air and deform the tip. The tip deforms, causing inconsistency. So, but these ELDX, they've got like a heat-proof tip on them, and I mean, if you were to put these in like a 300 Winchester short magnum or a Winchester magnum and shoot them at 3,000 feet per second, I mean, these would be great for that too. Accurate too. These are a little bit more money. They're very accurate. 1-inch groupings at 100 yards for sure. I've taken these out to 200 yards. They're pretty accurate at 200 yards as well. So these here, I made these 125 grain. I imagine, if you can shoot a deer with a 243 using a 100 grain bullet, I can't see why you can't shoot. And this is where I think you could actually reach out 300-400 yards or more. These are going 3,200 feet per second. That's pretty fast for a 30-06, I think. That's just my observation. These are going out, I imagine these would really reach out. They're meant for varmint, these Hornady SSTs. They're meant for coyotes and varmint and stuff like that. That's why I reloaded them. But the problem with a 125 grain bullet and shooting coyotes is you're not going to save the pelt. You're going to totally ruin the pelt on a coyote. So it's a waste. It's a waste. I think what I'll do is I only have 4 of these left. I think I'll shoot them off or save them. The one thing I want to talk about, and this is going back to the magazines, is why I bought 2 magazines. As I bought 2 magazines because when I go up north to Fox Creek, up in the real thick bush, and in that area there, I can load 2 different. The real interesting thing about this gun is I can load 2 different types of ammo. I can keep 2 different types, 2 different size of bullets, and the gun seems to be still within 8 inches at 100 yards. It's still inside the magic 8-inch pie plate, if you so call it that, at 100 yards. So what I would do is I would load 4 rounds of 178 grain ELDX for bigger game, and then I'd load these 165 grain for deer. So I'm not, you know, I'm not blowing the shit out of the deer, you know. So here's where the accuracy really going on now. Here's where the accuracy really seems to. This is a modified case, and how these work is the bullet slides in and out of here. See, the bullet slides in and out of here really easily. And this attaches onto this. So this is drilled and tapped out, and they're specially made by Hornady. This goes onto this overall length gauge. You insert the overall length gauge in, and this is where I was talking about why those bullets look like they stick out a lot. I measure I'm a reloader, and I go so far as to measure, I measure the chamber. I've measured the chamber inside the gun for particular bullets. So this bullet that's in here, is 180 grain spear. I had an extra one. That's so it's 180 grain spear, and these are seated. I'd have to measure these to tell you what they're seated at. But the reason why they look like they stick out so long is because they're sitting out. Like, for example, I'll take this one here. These Hornady ELDXs are seated at 3.300, and the Hornady book says the cartridge overall length should be 3.220. Well, the lands of the rifling in this chamber are longer than average. So the Hornady book is what is based on an average, where this is actually longer. So, and what you want to do is you want to reduce the jump that the bullet, you want to reduce that amount that the bullet jumps from the shell to the rifling, and that should increase your accuracy. So I've read and watched on YouTube and done my research and stuff like that. Anyway, so that's what I've found works best for me. These are my favorite loads so far. I mean, I'm still experimenting. I have had absolutely no problems with this gun whatsoever. I would, if you are considering buying a Hell's Canyon Speed, the only thing I might consider doing is, I'm really impressed with the Nikon BDC, which is another video. I can do another video on the Nikon BDC. I have Nikon BDC. I use Nikon scopes on all my rifles, and the reason why is because I've just gotten used to the BDC reticles, and know how they work, so, but as I was saying, the only other thing I might consider buying a Leupold, and this is just for aesthetics. I saw that Leupold will custom make a bronze Cerakote. I think it's only Leupold that has one, is the bronze Cerakote, and I would change the rings to the bronze Cerakote. And you can order from Browning the bronze magazines. So that would look really sharp, but how effective it is. I don't know if I'll do that, considering that I'm already used to the thing with those is those loophole scopes is you can get the turrets, the custom CDS is what it's called, custom dial system, and you get the turrets that you set you zero the gun at 200 yards, and then you just use your rangefinder, and you range find the animal if it's out to 300 yards, and then you set your dial to 300 yards, and that's okay for, I mean, I'm not used to that yet, so it'd be interesting to try it, but those scopes are a lot of money. I mean, it'd be a couple months pay for me, but anyways, that's my Hell's Canyon Browning Hell's Canyon tabletop review and ammo and accessories choice. And I hope you liked this video. Hopefully it wasn't too long and for you and drawn out. Those are just my this is just my personal opinion. Check out other videos on YouTube and then I have other videos on YouTube on different guns and stuff like that. If you want to check those out, like and subscribe to my videos, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Leave any comments. If you've got any ideas, comments, leave below. Thank you very much, and thanks for watching my video. Cheers, bye.